be who stretch arm. Okay, wait, hold up, just give me a minute. If it's success they call, I they go pick come.
Nobody say I use it transport me. If big God will bring me here, yeah me I don't see. If big God will bring me here, nobody say I use it transport me. If big God will bring me here, yeah me I don't see.
Yeah, Mako de Clota or Quidada Botanum. Yeah, you like a hammer, tonanum, the ladam, and the Mabubunum. He no make a follow them. Now make loud way and mute all of them. Yeah, my whole team is okay. No new friends, no new friends. Clear road, I know they see dead ends. Now remember when they talk, say I no make sense. Yeah, now my nonsense where they give them sense.
I wonder why them know they see the things I see. Everything they no believe in anything I say. Nigeria to Ghana, we're balling overseas. When they ask me, say how I take, yes, yeah. If big God will bring me here, nobody say I use it transport me. If big God will bring me here, yeah, me I don't see. If big God will bring me here, nobody say I use it transport me. If big God will bring me here, yeah, me I don't see. If big God will bring me here.
From January to December, I just keep counting cheddar. When me fooling them a duck, everything I touch, they can go. Blessings in 10 million folds.
They say good things come to those who wait, but only things left by those who hustle. I'm here by God's grace, and not by my muscle. My name still remains.
Welcome back. It's an exciting day for us here at GTV Breakfast. Follow our social media handles. Agenda 1 million followers by December is still live and active, and we want you to be a part of this journey. It's exciting for you as well today. Kofi Abrefa Afena, communication specialist at the Ministry of Energy, and the message from your good friend Prince Mawena is cheers to another 365 around the sun. They say you are a good man. So happy birthday to you, Kofi Abrefa Afena, from your friend Prince Mawena. Happy birthday to you, Evelyn Amevo, such a key part of our glam squad here at GTV Breakfast. Today is your birthday, girl. We love you. Keep shining. You look awesome. And the Kenke, we're waiting for it happily. And another birthday shout to Dorothy Ejapoma in Cancer, aka OBK, aka OBK Bakupe, aka baby of the family. Today you are 19. We are so proud of you. We are happy to see where life is taking you, and we're excited to be a part of your journey. This is from your star girl Valerie Danso, and all of us are hopping on that train to wish you an awesome birthday. All celebrants have a super swell day. The party will happen, and all of us will be a part of it. And in the spirit of excitement and in the spirit of partying, we want to have another party, this time curled up with a good book, I hope. Perby Cubs, an organization that promotes digital reading and a partner of the Accra World Book Capital 2023, has launched a reading campaign. Now, the world is inspired by the Ga word Kane, read. Kane, which means read. And then the word carnival. So we have Kaneval or Carnival. So it's a year-long program which promises lots of reading for fun and other educational activities. And the campaign is to promote the joy of reading. At the end of the UNESCO Accra World Book Capital 2023, the goal is that the society has a clear message. That is, reading is fun and reading leads to success. Everyone should read, and the program was put together by Perby Cubs Library Services in partnership with UNESCO in regards to the Accra World Book Capital 2023. This morning, the CEO of Perby Cubs, Ms. Anyele Perby, has joined us for a conversation at the table. Na Anyele, welcome.
Thank you.
I love the twist on the Kane and the vowel.
Yes.
It makes it that much more exciting. You're not here alone. Anyele came with Ajoan Poma, who is the brand and communications senior associate, also associated with Perby Cubs Library. Welcome.
Thank you.
And I'm excited to see what you're doing with Perby Cubs. So it's a brand thing, and I'll give you credit for it because you are the brand specialist in this case. But it was really your vision, wasn't it? Daniele. It's because, like they say, the proverbial Ghanaian does not like to read. What inspired you to come up with this?
Thank you very much. Well, first of all, I want to say a big thank you to you for having us here. A special thank you to GTV for partnering us. It's a real privilege to be here to share what Kaneval is about. Yeah, so as you're saying, unfortunately, in our context, in our country, we don't like reading very much. Literacy levels are very low. In fact, according to the World Bank, not just in Ghana, but in sub-Saharan Africa, about 87% of children by age 10 can't read and understand what they read. And so that's a very serious challenge because if you can't read, there's very little schooling you can do and excel at. And one of the root causes for this challenge is that as a society, we don't like reading. Many of us this year have not read a book yet. Apart from maybe textbooks if you're a student. And so that's what inspired us to do the Kaneval campaign. So
what does PEBI do in this regard? What services do you render to encourage people to get more interested in reading?
Okay, so PEBI CAPS offers a fun, evidence-based, cost-effective literacy program that empowers children to succeed through reading. So we bring the fun to reading, we measure children's reading levels, and then we give them books that they are interested in, and we monitor them to read. When they read the books, they take quizzes, get points, are engaged to actually enjoy their reading experience and get better at reading, because research shows that the better you are at reading, the more you excel in school and also in your future career. And so PEBI CAPS typically partners with schools across the country to get this done. We partner with schools, set up digital libraries and engage children to read. But since we have a unique opportunity of Accra being UNESCO's World Book Capital, this year we decided to do this reading campaign called Kaneval, because we've realized that it's quite a task to get children to enjoy reading. Most children think it's a bore, or it's a chore, or it's a punishment, or it's a necessary evil. If you're misbehaving in class, they say, go to the library. It's supposed to be a punishment. So we want to kind of change the face of reading, because if children enjoy reading, they will excel in school. So Kaneval was born out of that need, and that is why we have Kaneval.
Yeah, awesome. I think it's excellent work. Being an avid reader myself, I am saddened when I hear of statistics like you're saying, that young children at age 8 to 10, they're not even reading as much, because I started reading very early. Why is it important, do you think, as a brand, that this reading thing becomes more mainstream? Because when we talk advertising, we're talking about brands and marketing. We're talking about the aesthetics, what's out there. And advertising appears to be thriving. Social media appears to be thriving. So where is the disconnect when it comes to actually sitting down to read? Social media involves reading. So I don't get quite why we're so active on social media, and yet our reading statistics have declined in the past 3 years.
Thank you very much. So as Daniele said, generally it's a societal problem when it comes to reading. Most of us read because of information we need or for just educational purposes. Let's say we take the school-going kids, for instance. They read mostly their textbooks and all that. Apart from that, it's just for the exam's sake. Apart from that, you wouldn't really get them to read for fun or to read for any other thing. So as the general public or even the adults, when we go to the social media, we read what's our interest in, basically just something scanty, but we don't really have that time to sit down to say we are reading for other purposes. And the disconnection or the gap is we've not really come to that point where we really appreciate the essence of reading or the connection between reading and success. If we really get to know that reading leads to success, or you read to succeed, and reading is fun, it's not something like a big deal like a chore or something like that, when we see it in that way, we'll appreciate. So the gap comes with a part where we say laziness is also part. Oh, I'm just reading something small because of an information that I need. It's a chore for me. I can't spend that much time in reading. I'm just reading just to pass exams. So I think that's really the gap and the issue out there, both for school children and the general public at large.
I think that sincerely, finding time in this fast-paced world is one of the challenges. And I would want to think that as a parent, they would want their children to read more. We would want the awards and our children to read more. We would want to spend more time with them reading. But there's just no time. So what tips do you share when parents and caregivers come to you and say, I wish I could find more time, but I just can't seem to?
Okay, so that's a very valid question. Yes, a lot of times life is very fast-paced, parents are busy trying to make ends meet for the family, and so time can be an issue. So that's where Peppy Cups can offer some support, because you have a digital platform. Children are able to be signed on, and we monitor them in their reading. So that helps to give the child some guidance when it comes to reading. But I would also say that, when we enjoy doing something, we make the time for it, whether it's sports or it's cooking or whatever. And so I'd advise parents to prioritize it and still find about 20 minutes where they can read with little children, or encourage their children to still read during the day. Children say they are busy, they don't have time to read, but they have time to watch TV and play video games. So just 20 minutes, not too much to ask a day, if it's prioritized. So I think it's a question of valuing it and prioritizing it.
And also, attempting to make it more fun than it actually is.
Yes.
So if you give your child a book and then actually end up, and I've heard Kafui say he's done this with his boys, to say, read this book, find how many words by the end of the day or by the end of the week, and tell me what those words mean. Do you find that those things help, and all these points are awarding points for the attacks that they are able to complete? Do you find that these things help?
Okay, so it helps a lot. For instance, if the child is just reading, knowing that I'm reading not to get anything, it doesn't really motivate the child. But with these points that we give, with this award, it encourages the child to read one, because he or she knows that, okay, when I read this number of books, when I'm able to find out the meaning of this number of words, I'm going to be awarded. So all the time, the child naturally develops that love and that urge to read. And as it goes on like that, it becomes part and parcel of him or her. So we get them to read more and to cultivate their love for reading through the awards and the points we give to them. So it really works.
Right. Now, this campaign, Kaneval Campaign, tell us about it.
Okay, so the Kaneval Campaign is a fun reading campaign that Peppy Cups we are embarking on as part of the UNESCO World Book Capital, the Accra Book Capital that we are on, just to encourage and also inculcate the habits of reading in children, not just in children, as the general society or the public at large, because we've realized that it's a problem for everyone, especially as we always say that if you want to hide something from the black man, you can hide that in a book. So it's the general public at large, since it's a societal problem. But then our main focus is on the kids, that is the school-growing children between the ages of 6 to 14. Because if we nurture them with the habits of reading right from that age, they grow up with it and it becomes part of them, where they don't see it as a chore, they don't see it as a punishment or something like that, but then they enjoy and then they have that fun, and then they are future leaders, as we always say. So if we develop them through reading, definitely they'll become very, very successful. So we started, that is the launching of Kaneval. It was launched in May 11th, at Alpha Beta School in Dansoman. We didn't end there just after the launch. We've been to several private schools from Amrahia, we've been to Kwabinya, Adringano, and then we are so excited about this because that is our first public school we are going. That is next week at the Dansoman B cluster of schools. So that is it. And then it comes with a lot of fun. It comes with a lot of activities. In fact, we have a branded full bus called the Kaneval Bus Stop. That is where we used to go to schools with our fun and everything. So the bus is going to the Dansoman cluster of B schools to have the same fun, with reading being at the core center of everything. So what is going to happen at Dansoman cluster of B schools is that just like we do it at the other schools that we've been to, we are going to have our canopy set there with our full digital library set up there, where the children will be reading. We are starting on Monday through to Friday, with the exception of Tuesday. So it will basically, first of all, with our core objective or the core goal being the reading. So they will be reading from class to class. They will read themselves, and then they will be read to, because we deal with a lot of influencers by the special grace of God. We have a lot of influencers who inspire these cubs. We call our kids, or the kids we deal with, we call them cubs. So they inspire them a lot. So they will be there to read to them, and not just the reading. Definitely, we'll have friendly competition and then quizzes also to score them for points. And then when you have more points, that is when you have more fans. We'll have the bouncy castle there, the face painting there, the crafts with beads making, popcorn, and everything is there. So the more you score more points, the more you enjoy most of those games too.
Listen, I'm hearing all that you're saying. All I'm asking is what day is this bouncy castle and things like that?
That is from
I might just have a headache on my finger.
Okay.
And not show up at work.
Okay.
Because it sounds like fun.
Yes, very. So that is next week from Monday to Friday, with the exception of Tuesday because they're having their cultural day in the school.
Okay. Exciting times. You say that it's the campaign, Carnival, is open to everyone, but the focus really is for the 6 to 14-year-olds. How does that tie into the statistics that the children around age 6 or 10, thereabouts, most of them are unable to read? How do you encourage children who have difficulties reading when they come to this bus, this very shiny yellow? I'm excited to see it.
Yes. And so, the thing about reading, or actually any skill, is that your mindset about it influences even how you approach it. So if you already think something is challenging, it's scary, it's something that you do when you are forced to do, it influences even the effort you put into it. So that's why by bringing the fun to reading, we actually shift the paradigm that, this is not so bad. That even influences the amount of effort that we put into the learning to read. And then from there, we are able to measure the child's reading level. Unfortunately, when the child is in class 2, you say give them a class 2 book or a book for class 2, the whole class. If a child is in class 6, then you give the child a book for class 6, But we are different sizes. Even the same class 2, somebody is reading at an SHS level, and someone is reading at a maybe KG level, or can't read at all, So we're able to measure the children's level, find out exactly what they can do, and then from there on be able to support them to grow in their reading ability. So that's where Carnival first changes their mindsets, and then we meet them where they are to support them to grow in their reading. So next week when we go to the Soman Cluster B schools, we are going to engage the community, the parents, the children, the community leaders, Asafuache and co, the teachers, everyone in the community, to realize that reading actually is fun and reading leads to success. So the influencers will come to carry that message across. But we hope to come back to actually set up a full digital library for a period of about a year, in partnership, of course, with corporate institutions and others who would help us to carry that out, where, having measured the children's reading level, we can actually apply a program over a period of that year that gets them from being struggling readers to being proficient readers.
You see, when you are old school like me and you grew up in the 80s and at that time of the day, reading really is curling up with a book on the couch, on the floor, on the mat, in the church row, wherever you find yourself. You can block the world out, you can let the new world in the book in. That's why this subject about a fully digital library is fascinating to me. What does that look like in effect? Is it computer screens, phone screens, laptop screens, once again? Because we are also talking about the harm that screen time, excessive screen time, can have on children. So explain that to me.
Okay, so when we set up a digital library, we usually use tablets. I think some of the pictures show them that are locked to the table, and we have enough tablets for the class size. So when you come, you have your individual library card, which we've given you, and then you log in, and you have your personalized section, which has been created for you based on where you are in reading, and then you're able to read from there. The beauty about the digital library is that you can give a class of 60 each a personalized reading experience. At the same time, somebody's reading a different book. You're not all reading the same book. At the same time, you are also being evaluated separately. You can be reading literally 60 different books at the same time. Take your evaluation. If you pass it, you get your points for it. And so that really does enhance the learning experience.
So it's a lot like Netflix. So you have your own list of programs that you maybe download, programs that you've watched, and you can go back and watch them again.
Yes, you can go back and
exciting.
Yeah, so then the children are able to really grow at the pace that suits them. And it's not a one size fits all, because in generally with traditional books, if you are trying to serve the children, then perhaps one child is bored because it's below them, another child is frustrated because it's above them. But with a digital library, you are able to tweak it based on the child's experiences, and so that really engages them to read. Now, when it comes to screen time, that does come up quite a bit. But the thing is, we look at rather repurposing the child's screen time instead of adding on to the screen time. So the children are on screens playing games, watching videos, and engaging on social media. And we encourage parents to encourage the children to repurpose their screen time. But when they are in the digital library, the only thing they have access to is the reading platform. So it's not going to be screen time that is being used for anything else. But at home, if parents, because with our platform, when you have access to it all day, every day. You know, it's your personalized platform that you can use at home, at work, wherever you are. The child is, you can use the platform. And so we encourage parents to then encourage the children to repurpose some of the screen time and to read more.
I'm excited. Where does it go next after the Dansoman Cluster B schools? Because it sounds like something that every school, every child, even the general public should have access to. So where next? Which school would be next on your radar? And is there a plan for the general public?
Okay, so we have quite a number of schools listed or lined up that we'll be going into. So definitely from here, we'll go to a different school. And since it's a one-year program, we'll mix both the private schools and then the public schools together. And as we said, it's for all. The general public also is inclusive in it, especially when it comes to September. That is the literacy month like this. We have a lot of activities that we'll be doing. We'll have our tents with our digital library set up at Tema Station, where the markets women, the influencers, the kids, the one is open for all. We'll have definitely the funds that we'll have at the schools. We'll have the same fund there. We'll have some senior citizens also reading. We call them lions. They'll be reading to the cubs, the kids, and everyone there. And aside that, so even in 2024, that is Ghana month too, we have a lot of activities. We have Instagram lives where we'll have a lot of people, that is the general public, reading also for awards and everything. So everyone is inclusive in this campaign.
Awesome. Anyeli, your final words?
Well, first of all, I want to say a big thank you to GTV for your support. It's very much treasured that we are here to share what Kaneval is all about. You know, Kaneval is a campaign that is too big to be done by any single entity. And so we are glad to partner influencers, publishers, schools, parents, general society, and we are particularly glad to be here on GTV. Thank you for the support you've shown us by partnering us and giving us this platform. And we are looking forward to the future opportunities we have to use the platform to share Kaneval. And to parents and the general society out there, Kaneval is all about getting all of us to read and enjoy reading. Let's change the story. In a few decades, or in a decade's time, let's say, when the saying, if you want to hide something from a black person, put it in a book, comes up, may the children be very surprised. May they be shocked to hear that, because it's not our story anymore. Thank you so much.
That's exciting. So your final words, Ajua.
Okay, so when it comes to Pebby Cups, and we'll tell everybody, we always say success is just a book away. And our goal at the end of this whole campaign is to tell everyone that reading is fun, reading leads to success. Everyone needs to read. So that's all. We encourage everyone to read, since it leads to success, so that we can all be successful in all our endeavors.
Ajua, thank you for making time with us this morning. Thank you as well for carrying the vision and for making this a possibility. CEO of Pebby Cups, Anyele Pebby, and her brand and communication senior associate, Ajua Ampoma, are inviting all of us to be a part of the Kaneval campaign. Kanemo, you read a book, read something. Kanemo, so Kane is the Ga word for read, and then the vowel Kaneval, then we have this exciting word called Kaneval, encouraging all of us to get involved in reading, but with a specific focus on children, especially those in the 16 to 14 bracket. They've been to a number of schools already since the launch on May 11. Next week, they are at Dansoman Cluster B schools, bringing that bubbly yellow van with its full digital library to the doorsteps of the pupils there. Every student will have the opportunity to read their hearts out and take part in the other fun activities that will go alongside it. Bouncy castle, face painting, popcorn, all the good stuff. I think I'll have a day off that day, so that I'll just come and visit. So Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, Dansoman Cluster B schools meet Anyele and Ajua, as well as other members of the Pebby Cubs organization, as they roll out another level of the Kaneval campaign. Look out for the campaign coming to another private or public school near you. Look out for the campaign in other months when adults will be given the opportunity to also participate. Tema Station particularly, watch out. Ghana month, watch out for the reading activities that will be coming up next year in the month of March for Ghana month. And of course, support Kaneval across all social media platforms so that they can meet the objective to make reading fun, to make reading a tool to make us successful and just, you know, to explore new worlds that you will never get to visit. I love reading. I think you should too. So go on and support Kaneval. Thank you, ladies, for being a part of our conversation.
Thank you.
And I think we should send Evelyn, Amevo, and Dorothy Japoma and Cancer on a Kaneval campaign trip, so that as part of your birthday today, you can have bouncy castle, face painting, popcorn, and all that. Happy birthday to you girls, Eve and OBK1. We love you. This has been our segment. We'll be back with the lighter side with Valerie after the break.